What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about a couple characters that I feel have a very high chance of getting into Smash as part of the DLC pack, or Fighters Pass 2 as it's called. And I honestly have some really good reasons for this, and maybe a little bit of evidence to point towards why these characters are pretty much going to join Smash. But if I'm wrong, come up in the comments below for something for me to do. If I get pretty much if I at least get one right, then I won't do this. But if I get all of them wrong, come up with something in the comments below for me to do as, like, you know, punishment for getting it wrong. But anyways, let's hop into this video and let's start talking about the first character. Gino, to many people, is regarded as a beloved character from a really cool Super Mario game. Mario RPG was not just your normal Mario game, it's an RPG like it lists in the title, and it had so many unique things around that game, just the way the game looked and the way it felt, and characters like Gino that appeared within the game are just different and really cool. And his design is just really nice, and that's why a lot of people like Gino. And also he was a cool character within the game. Like, look, someone was able to make a 25-minute video about why they want Gino. For God's sake, this character is wanted. But now let's stop talking about fans wanting the character. Now let's talk about why they actually have the possibility to get into the game. Let's talk about some history. Back in Brawl, Gino was actually supposed to be a playable character because Sakurai actually really wanted to add him to Smash. But I believe there was some discourse between Square Enix and Nintendo at the time, and they still haven't really recovered from their whole era of, you know, not using discs and using normal things that these other companies are doing that made their relationship go bad in the first place. But these days, Nintendo and Square Enix are really good partners again, and Nintendo pushed Dragon Quest XI-S on the Switch like crazy, which is a Square Enix game, and Octopath Traveler was a timed exclusive for like a little over a year. And even before the hero getting in Smash, Cloud was allowed to be in Smash, which is a Square Enix character, although they only gave him 2 songs. And the Dragon Quest hero, I believe they gave him 11. Nonetheless, Square Enix has opened back up with Nintendo. Final Fantasy VII released on a Nintendo console, and I don't see any problem with them letting them use Gino for a Smash character. And it's just really odd to me how the Gino costume never returned, the Gino Me costume. That shows me that Sakurai was leaving a door open in case he wants to add Gino, and now that there's 6 characters coming, now is his chance. Same thing with Heihachi, that character's costume is missing. Same thing with Lloyd. So all these characters that don't have their Mii costumes back in the game is really interesting, and I think he's just leaving the door open. But Gino, I feel like, is the biggest contender out of all of these characters to come back, but this time as a playable character and not a costume. And that's pretty much the biggest reason why I feel like Gino is a really big contender to show up in this game, and not to mention the fact that there's a lot of fan demand, and especially since the first Fighters Pass was chosen before Smash even came out, there were so many different requests that blew up in the meantime. So the second Fighters Pass has the chance to cover a lot of those requests during the first year of Ultimate, after the first Fighters Pass was already decided. And Gino was definitely up there with a few other characters. But do you know what character was probably requested the most? Sora is a no-brainer. I probably don't even have to tell you how popular he is and how many charts he tops when it comes to the most requested Smash character. He is by far asked about daily, and even gets to the point where he trends on Twitter sometimes just from people asking for him to be in Smash. People harass developers about adding Sora into Smash to the point where they have replied publicly on Twitter telling Sakurai in a jokingly manner that he'll tell them never to add the character they want. By the way, this is Harada, who created Tekken, who tweeted that, by the way, so that's how you know it's just a joke. But Sora would be a perfect fit for Smash. He has so many moves to pull from, so much material to use within Smash. I feel like Sakurai would have a field day creating a moveset for Sora in Smash. Along with Nomura, I'm pretty sure the creator of Kingdom Hearts would love to help visualize some stuff for Sakurai to add into Smash. But a lot of the same Disney and Square Enix stuff applies from beforehand, like we talked about with Gino, except it is a little more complicated. Disney is involved with Sora. Sora is owned by Disney technically. So Disney would have to make the final decision to add this character into Super Smash Bros. And a lot of people are worried about that because a lot of people view Disney really in a strange light, like it's a person, that Disney's just one big greedy person that doesn't like to do stuff for other people, but that's actually just not true. When it comes to video games, Disney are the ones who don't know what they're really doing, so they get other companies to do it for them because they don't understand as a whole how the video game industry really works. That's why they signed away Star Wars to EA, and now EA makes Star Wars games. After the whole fiasco with a journalist claiming that Disney broke off the deal with Nintendo to add Sora into Smash, which was not true whatsoever, which was just speculation by a game journalist, so that's not true. Sora's chances are still fine. But not too long after that, a statement from Disney was released talking about video games once again and how they're willing to accept help from other companies and partner with more gaming companies to incorporate Disney stuff within video games. So that clearly means Smash is a really big probability, and that's why Sora can really easily be in Smash. Disney would not have any problem giving their IP over to Nintendo, which is already a big collaborator with Disney. And I feel like these things I just mentioned only increase his chance of being in the game, especially since the outcry got so large during the first year of Smash Ultimate. There's no way that Sora in Smash could be ignored with how much Twitter just has an impact these days on Smash. People cried about Ridley and King K. Rool on Twitter, and look what happened. They ended up in Smash, which is please don't harass the developers. So yeah, that's pretty much why I feel like Sora just has a lock-in at this point as part of Fighters Pass 2, and yeah. Oh shoot, I think I clicked the wrong button. Yikes, this dude's never making it. Might be. Bro, what? Alright, this thing is just not working right. Let's try this again. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Try this one last time. I'm gonna hit that button. There we go, Rex from Xenoblade 2. I don't know why it took so many tries to get that to work. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 probably has to be in my top 10 games of all time. This game was kind of mid to me at first, actually. When going through the first 3 chapters, I was almost falling out of the game. But the more I played, the more it got interesting and the better it got. And by the time I beat the game, I was like, dang, this game kind of hit me, and this game's really amazing. And it seems Sakurai thought so too. Sakurai did an interview not too long after the game came out talking about his time playing through the game and how he really enjoyed it. And this was before Smash Ultimate was announced, and that had me thinking maybe Rex will be in the next Smash game if he enjoyed it so much. And so far, it turns out he never really ended up as a character. And he ended up as a actual Mii costume instead of a character, and the reasoning behind it was because planning was already finished by time Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was, ready to go and announced and all that. So he didn't really get any inside information about the game or anything like that at all. So he wasn't able to add him as a character, but he really did want to add him as a character after completing the game. But now's the perfect chance to add the character into the game as DLC, and it's really just kind of obvious that he wants Rex as the character, and it's not actually bad to mention that Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition is coming out really soon. It's finally up on the European eShop, meaning it's coming pretty soon. So it should be here, I would believe, by summertime. And it would be a really good idea to advertise that game by putting in another Xenoblade character. Even though Rex is not from the first game, he's from the second game, it's still advertisement nonetheless. It's still the Xenoblade franchise. Shulk is still in Xenoblade 2 as DLC, so it all kind of ties together. And with that said, I highly expect the character. A lot of people are confused about this because the same thing is kind of happening except with Fire Emblem, except Fire Emblem already got their character. And the difference is between how things went down with Xenoblade and Fire Emblem is that Sakurai actually got to get hands-on with Fire Emblem before the game came out, which is the opposite of what he got to do with Xenoblade 2. So he didn't really get to add Rex into the base roster only because planning was already done for the entire base roster and he couldn't get his hands on it. Unlike Fire Emblem, where he was able to get his hands on it before the game launched, and they chose him in November of 2018. But that's why I think Rex will be able to get into the game now, because all this stuff is just kind of piling up on top of each other for all three of these characters, mainly Sora and Rex. And I definitely do think at least one of these characters are going to make it into the game, and if they don't, then yikes. Like I said in the comments below, come up with something for me to do if I get them all wrong. But that concludes this. But that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like the video. It truly does help. And make sure to drop a comment below, that also helps. And if you want to see more videos, just keep supporting and I'll keep uploading more. So hopefully you guys do that, and make sure to hit the bell notification, and I'll see you in the next one.